Well, I talked about Socrates before, so how about a poem? Socrates is like my teacher in my poetry, but I want to read you this. This poem, I perform this poem when I read it in Spanish because I have memorized many of my poems. In English, it's much harder, but I normally begin by approaching everyone. You know that poor Socrates was known in Athens as the crazy man that was asking everyone, "No si Tom, do you know thyself?" And that was the question. But that is the question of life. Do you know thyself? Do you know thyself? Imagine somebody asking that question for 45 years to the people. The teacher that didn't write anything. In fact, it's so interesting that Socrates, Buddha, and Jesus did not write anything. So we really don't know what they said. So, do you know thyself? Do you know yourself? Nisi Seuton, or Socrates' trial as seen on TV. For many years, we have been carrying his questions embedded between our ribs. And by the way, some of these poems are designed, and it is so painful when the translator doesn't do the same effort that, some of my poems have been translated. One poem was translated last year to 45 languages. Is the poem My Dove, the Dove and Peace. Perhaps we could end with that poem. But, you know, it's a design, and you have to respect the design. For many years, we have carried his questions embedded between our ribs. Have then we dragged our dream for justice, when right there, in the middle of the screen, old Socrates appeared with his lonely truth and silence, poisoned with hemlock, after explaining with convincing syllogisms that he had never ever pronounced the judgments young Aristocles, Big Head, or Plato were his nicknames, wrote in his memoirs, published day after day, on many pages on the TV guide that everyone read and watched on a big plasma screen placed in Athens Agora by those who would revile his majestic. That's how we came to realize, without even knowing it, that the crazy man each one of us envied because he could say what he wanted without ever having written a word, which meant no one had the kind of solid proof to bring him to trial. This same old had followers all over the state schools, except in his own house, where Shantip had put him in his place more than once for refusing to wipe his children's bottoms unless he asked them first if it was possible to know virtue without having practiced it. They say she also brought charges against him because he wasn't worth anything to her any longer.